I think we're ready to rock and roll. Let's get ready to get it on. Let's see. All righty, welcome to the channel, guys. We're getting ready to talk some weather here. And we're getting ready for the Starship flight number 6. I'm excited. I'm really a big geek when it comes to this kind of stuff. I know there's like 15,000 out there. I'm hoping maybe a few folks come on here and we could talk a little bit about this. But if they don't, I really don't care. We're about an hour from a launch time. About 58 minutes here is counting down the launch time here on our Starship flight 6. The one thing I will say is right now, looking at the current weather conditions there. For the flight, we're looking good. We got clear skies. Wind blowing in out of the northeast a little bit here at about 15. That should not be a problem. So we got a little bit of a wind here coming off that right there. It's pretty warm as well across there, but a little bit of a breeze, but I don't think it's enough to stop the launch criteria for this. Temperature sitting at 83 degrees nearby there. And if you ever wanted to know where they've launched from, here's, of course, Brownsville, Texas. They launched right down here. They're literally right on the Mexican border there. Atlanta Flag Girl, good to see you there. How you guys doing? Yeah, getting ready for the big launch here in a little bit. Absolutely looking forward to this. I was so excited watching that launch they had there. Was Flight 5. Satellite imagery showing we got clear skies down there. There were some clouds earlier, but that's kind of pulled on out. So we're looking at a pretty good clear sky there. Big thunderstorms out here in the Gulf of Mexico. Those are moving well off toward the east there. It was good that I think it was good that they kind of delayed it a day for the launch for this, but because it looks like the conditions there are not looking bad at all. As looking at the skies and the different cameras there from the YouTube feed here that I'm borrowing for this, I will be switching over in about 10 minutes over to the actual SpaceX feed here in just a second. As going to watch the go on here for this. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff, man. I tell you, I'm really looking forward to this launch going on, man. It's going to be really, really neat. Looks like the weather is definitely cooperating, looking pretty good out there, and hopefully will continue to look good here for the launch. I don't see anything weather-wise that'll cause a problem. There is a bit of a wind. There's a 15-mile-per-hour wind coming off the northeast, but that is well within criteria here to not be a problem. Should not be an issue for anything here to cause any problems with the launch. So that is some good news there. Got any questions or anything? I'm more than happy to come on board here and post them, and we'll bring them on up there. Oops, get this back up here as I do with Atlanta Flag Girl. Yeah, love it. Yeah, this is not at Cape Canaveral. This is down in South Texas. This is where they do the launches here. They do the Falcon 9 launches over at Cape Canaveral, but this one is down in South Texas. So we're about 56 minutes from launch here on the system here. But I tell you, it's going to be pretty good. I'm glad the weather is definitely cooperating on this one. Should be a pretty good, smooth launch. And I know that the wind is a bit of a criteria. Obviously, they're taking the booster and they're bringing it back. So you want to have too much of a bad crosswind there to kind of blow it off its trajectory and mess up so when those Megazilla arms come out to catch this thing, that is not a problem. But still waiting on the live feed here from SpaceX to start here shortly. They'll be starting here for too long, and I'm gonna go to refresh this just to make sure here that we're going on. Yep, they're still not. Just double checking here, and just making sure that they're going to be coming. They're supposed to come on at about 4:15, so they've got another 10 minutes, and they should be coming on here for that. But like I said, looking great weather-wise. Other than the only thing I see is just a little bit of wind. That's about it. That is about it. Go back here to the step cameras here. But I know every weather geek, every SpaceX geek in the country is out there doing their broadcast stuff. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and broadcast live too, just because I can. So, but I tell you, when they caught that thing on Megazilla, caught that thing, I really thought it was going to explode. I did not think they were going to catch that thing. Hey, Modest Demon, how you going, brother? Oh, yeah, you guys are going to get it bad up there in Seattle. If you saw my morning report I had out there this morning, it was really looking pretty bad. I got blizzard warnings up for y'all. I did a report on that. And but y'all got the areas there are going to get hit with a lot of rain. That I know that pressure on that low pressure system out there is going to drop down to like 935 to between 938 and 945 millibars off the coast. That's like a Cat 3, Cat 4 hurricane, man. That's a big storm. Y'all be careful out there, man. But yeah, I love it. I love the fact we got a clear sky here. That's a very picturesque sky there with the satellite imagery showing some very, very good conditions there for today. Yeah, we continue to build the channel a little bit, getting a little bit more every day. My posting I did on the cold air is doing pretty good. It's tracking toward 1,000 views on that one. So we're doing pretty good there overall. What you got there? Let's see. Football Cascades, 25 knots is about what I'm going with the rain. Yeah, those mountains are going to get blasted. I saw some of the snowfall totals up there in Washington State. Looks like roughly about 3 feet. The target zone for the highest was going to be down to your south, down toward into northern California, where it was showing upwards of 6 feet. I mean, 5 to 6 feet of snow possibly in that area. So, with that kind of moisture flow, it's going to be absolutely crazy, absolutely nuts for that. But at least we don't have to worry about any rains here for this baby's launch. This thing is going to be looking pretty good as we're waiting there for the launch of this thing. Now the camera in the bottom left-hand corner of the 4, that's actually Cape Canaveral. The one on the bottom left one is. But the other cameras there are all on the Starship launch here, getting ready to get going here in about 52 minutes. I'm looking really forward to it. I got a dog underneath my feet here. She just wants to be petted with my feet. She's a little bit of a full house. She's a French bulldog, and her name's Angie. So yeah, we're moving. Oh, by the way, if I know I got a few of you guys on here, I see these. There's the weather radios. I do have them, and my daughters said they're going to get the list to me. I think tomorrow. So to get to me, they're going to be the 8 names that I just gave them. Here's the access. Go into lists. Go in there and pick me 8 names. So they picked me 8 names out. I just told them to skip through it, pick 8 names, and what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to put on my Santa hat. I'm going to put on my Santa hat, and we'll do the radio giveaways here during a live broadcast. I'll probably do a live broadcast schedule. I got a nice little graphic I made for it too. So we'll give away those 8 radios for the to congratulate us for getting to our 5,000. Now we got to get to 10,000, which will probably take another year. It's slow going when you try to build a channel, that's for sure. Weather radar-wise, it's looking good, man. I tell you, again, just a little bit of that wind. That's the only thing. Got a northeast wind here, blowing in here, but about 15 miles per hour is the last check that I saw. Let me go back to Radar Omega here and double check that. I'll go back over here, and yeah, 15 miles per hour. So looking in here, you got 15. Got the wind coming up to our 15. You got 14 here. Got 9 down here. Inland area is running about 2 to 5. So pretty good beach. Got a good little bit of a beach breeze coming in here about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So that's not too terribly bad. That should not be a game showstopper here on this. I probably should need to monitor my Twitter feed too to make sure nothing else comes up from that. So we're about 6 minutes or so, and then I'll start getting the official. We'll get the official cameras from SpaceX coming up here from Boca Chica, and we'll get the Hey Kova. Good afternoon, weather nerds. How you doing? Yeah. Now I'm a SpaceX nerd for today. Yeah, good to see you, Kova. Yeah, we're just getting ready to do this. I haven't done a live broadcast for something like this. I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. Let's go ahead and do that. Why not? So we're talking about, but boy, I tell you, the conditions are not bad. Got a little bit of clouds here down to the south. I mean, down here in Mexico a little bit, but no, there ain't nothing going to stop this. This launch site's sitting right about there. So they're going to shoot this thing off, goes out over the Gulf on that trajectory. When that thing starts to launch, and they say, light that candle. Right now, I mean, it's to be a beautiful shot when they launch this thing. So the good news is we're going to see it here, and the good news is if you haven't heard about this, it'll be landing in daytime and when it comes down in the Indian Ocean. So they got the barges out there, so we should be able to see the camera views of when this thing comes down and lands there in the Indian Ocean. So we should be able to see both, and hopefully we'll be 2 for 2. It wouldn't shock me if they have a problem with this one, but the Megazalarm's not catching it this time. I'll be honest with you, I think they got lucky last time, because when those things reignited last time, it blew off the side panel. So you saw all the flames that were kind of shooting off the sides there. They got a little bit lucky. on that one, but they did catch it. We'll see if they make any improvements on this. But I guess the big thing for me is just how fast SpaceX has been going with the upgrades for their flight system, how quickly they've gone. And they're talking about going into next year where they're going to do it. They've got the other tower they're working on. They're going to have two launches. They're going to go up. One's going to be the JAG-3, and then they're going to be doing a kind of a 2 launches. So that one's like a tanker and one's a refill tanker. So man, they're just moving really quick. Hey, Captain Skywalker. Yeah, it's good to see you there. Yeah. Watched the space shuttle from Daytona Beach in the 80s. Oh, I loved it. You know, we went to saw a shuttle landing in the 90s there, and we went over there to see that. Heard the boom as it was coming on in, and that was an amazing sight to see the space shuttle launch. I still think as fancy as the Starship is, everything to me, everything they launched to me still looks primitive when I look at a space shuttle. When I look at a space shuttle, I still think that thing is the be all end all, but the technology they're doing with this 100% usability on this thing is going to drive down the cost so much on this stuff. I mean, you got China's trying to copy the technology because they don't want to get left behind on this. But that heck, they're even talking about possibly canceling the Artemis program because of the success of this. The only bad thing is if they cancel Artemis, the Chinese are going to get there before we do. That's the problem. And I would say you've already spent billions of dollars. You've already kind of committed yourself. It's not worth canceling that. Cancel the program once you get up there and you got SpaceX to take over, but don't have a handoff. Don't have a gap. You're already committed. Just do it. Just do it. So we're at T-minus 47 minutes till launch right now. We're about 2 minutes away from the live from SpaceX's launch. This will be kicking on here very shortly as they'll be taking over their broadcast there. So they're supposed to come on at 4:15, at least according to the SpaceX website. We'll see. I'm kind of piggybacking this other live views here from some other cameras on YouTube just to keep a watchful eye on the cameras there as we're getting closer and closer to launch. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to it, man. This is going to be really something. Once the official SpaceX one comes up, I will bring up the audio level on there as well. So you can stay here. You can still hear what's going on with that. We'll kind of bring it up together and listen to it a little bit as we go toward launch here. But yeah, today's been a good day as far as number of new subscribers. We've added today 5. We've added 5 today, so that's not too bad. And we added 8 the other day, so still moving in the right direction. That's all we can try to do. That's all we can do. Let me see here. Still don't know where the heck that my other thing went. I'm just kind of trying to see that one. No, I don't need that one. Shut that down. Shut that down. Don't need that one. I can shut down. I'm shutting down some old extra websites I do not need open right now. It takes gets my screens too cluttered. So I'm just shutting down some of this crap I do not need. But we're about 30 seconds. We should be seeing something coming up here on the main site here very shortly. In fact, let's go ahead and click it over here and see if that kicks in here. I think there might be a slight delay, but we'll see. We're still waiting for the new Starship here to launch here shortly. Let's shut that down. Let's shut that down. Let's shut that one down. Yes, leave. Don't need that open anymore. And I don't need that open anymore. So we're kind of clearing things out. All right, still waiting on that. I'll go back over to this camera here. It's like we're at T-minus 45 minutes and we're counting down. T-minus 45 on the launch time. Hopefully there won't be any delays. Cross your fingers. Because it's important. I think there's only a short window they got because they really want to make sure that they land this thing in the Indian Ocean with the sun up there. So there can't be too big of a delay here on this on the launch. So because they really want to capture that stuff on both sides. All right. All righty. That's there. And that is that one. Let's see here. There we go. Just double checking here stuff. Woo woo. All right, let's go back over to the main site here. Let's check this out. I'm gonna go and give that a live update here. I like to push it. Sometimes you got to push it and check on it. All right. Well, I said that I see the countdown in the 15th. Maybe they moved it to 16 till 4:30 Eastern time for the broadcast. I see the countdown on the top left. So we'll come back to that one. We'll keep going. We'll keep it here on live. We'll keep it here on lab too. So hey, welcome back. Welcome to the Weather Nerds YouTube channel. I'm doing my first live broadcast of a Starship launch, which from a weather perspective right now is looking extremely good. We're looking very good indeed. The only thing I see is a little bit of a wind, which I think is well within the launch criteria. Something I'll need to research if I ever want to do this again in the future is the fact that we do got about a 15-mile-per-hour wind coming out of the northeast here, coming in a little bit of a sea breeze coming off the Gulf of Mexico. It's pretty warm. It's 83 degrees there on launch site there in South Texas, and the south site is right down here. If you haven't figured, it's right on the Mexican border. The road that goes on there, you can literally almost throw a rock and hit where this thing is located. They're right there on the Texas Space Coast, they sometimes refer to as, but sitting right in there. And the launch goes out over the Gulf of Mexico in this general direction. So that's the general direction of where the launch goes for that. So conditions have definitely gotten better out there from compared to yesterday. I think the delay was probably a good day because you got much better visibility, and the recovery site and everything out there for the boot. For anything that would splash down would be out in here, but this thing's supposed to come back and launch and land right in there. We'll see if that happens. I think the ring that separates the two aircraft, I think it's like about 15 miles offshore where that thing splashes down out there. And because I saw it when they were doing it last time, when they went out there and was watching that thing hit. I literally saw it splash down out there. You think they probably put some sort of recovery mechanism on that. I don't know, but we shall see. But it still amazes me. I was too young for the Apollo missions. I was literally the last Apollo mission. I think I was like not quite 2 years old. So I don't have any memory. I do remember as a small kid having the Apollo modules and stuff. I had the rockets and stuff. I was like a little kid. I remember having those, but nothing like on par with what we're seeing with this thing. And this thing is even more powerful than the Saturn V rockets, which is just really, really amazes when you think of the technology and stuff going on that. Let's see what we got here. Got a couple of text messages here. Let's see here. January 3rd needs filling. That sounds about All right, here we go. Just kind of double checking the conditions here. Still showing, hey, boy, it's 85. Boy, check out that temperature inland there. Oh, Lord. Right there at McAllen, 91 degrees. Ow, boy, that's hot. 88 degrees. It's like summertime still down here. 85 there. Boy, it's kind of warm there across South Texas. That is steamy. Steamy. At least the radar is clear. We'll give it that. I'm using the Brownsville, Texas radar down there, so obviously nothing to watch there. So we're getting closer to lunchtime. Whew. Let me see. I got this open here. I got that. Oh, I never did put my Weather Nerds in the top right hand corner. Where did I put that? Where did I put that? Oh, there it is. I forgot to put this in my screen. I put this back behind me. And boosh, there we go. There we go. So we got a clean sweep on the radar here across South Texas. Should be looking pretty good for launch conditions here. We're still about 40 minutes. We are 40 minutes from countdown there. 40 minutes, just hitting it right now. 40 minutes, counting it down. So SpaceX will start their broadcast at 16:30. For you military types, it's 4:30 in the afternoon. Getting ready to do this launch thing here. 10 minutes. 10 minutes to go. 33 Raptor engines on super heavy. It generates 7,590 metric tons of thrust using sustainable methane oxygen fuel for efficiency and reliability. Yeah, it's a lot better than those rockets that the space shuttle used. Those were those were pretty much, liquid oxygen, liquid hydrogen. Of course, we know how explosive those things can be. That's why part of the reason why we launched, obviously, the Challenger. Yeah, this stuff is looking a lot better. A lot better. Woo! Oh, I know what I need to do. Let me do this. Let's see here. I need to do this. Let's do this. I'm going to...
Design is optimized for precision, ensuring that each journey is a step closer to making the impossible possible.
Yeah.
Back on Earth,
there we go.
heavy booster.
I want to keep this down low. I'm going to mute this for now, but I do want to make sure that I can have the audio coming through here when they do start their broadcast here. I do want to have that as well. So we'll be doing simulcast on the SpaceX's official site there. So go back over here. Boy, I'm excited. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see this thing go off. I'm really looking forward to that landing in the Indian Ocean, though. But that'll take probably another hour to see that one. But that's going to be truly amazing if they can pull this thing off. And then I'm really excited to see what Flight 7 is going to be, because I believe Flight 7 is going to have the version 2, I believe, of the SpaceX rocket, of the SpaceX aircraft. I believe that's what they're going to have there, is the version 2 will go off on that one. But they're also on this one, if you haven't heard, they took some of the tiles off. They look what they had their lessons learned from Flight 5, and they took some of them off there because it reduces the weight, obviously. They're also testing some backup alloy underneath it for extra protection while they're doing it. So it's like, oh, we don't need it. It didn't get that hot here, so we can take some of these off. They're learning so fast, and the process at which they turn this around makes government inefficiency look so bad. I mean, when you think about how quickly SpaceX has come on in just, basically the last decade, and how they've got the Falcon 9s down to a basically routine, not even an issue with them to get those things going off. So we're T-minus 37 minutes and counting down here for the big boys launch here. One thing's going to be interesting is once they get this thing, when they start putting actual people on board, that's what I'm really looking forward to, when they actually start putting astronauts on board. And if you haven't seen some of the mock-ups on some of the top, but there's so much space that they're going to have for the different decks they're going to have for this aircraft. I mean, it's truly something that you see out of science fiction on exactly how the Starship, when it starts going, and the different versions that are going to come and get it. It's just going to be truly amazing, and the number of people they're doing. Obviously, the Elon Musk's goal here is to get this thing to Mars. Obviously, the stepping stone is going to be the moon first, and then obviously going to Mars. But they've clearly got the landing system, I think, down pretty good here. Those just tuning in, we're just kind of waiting here on our launch. We're about T-minus 36 minutes from launch. Right now, the weather conditions are looking pretty good. We got clear skies down there. We got a little bit of cloud cover just south of the launch site down here into Mexico. And we got some thunderstorms well out of here in the Gulf of Mexico, but nothing that's going to impede the launch here. Looks like they should be pretty good. Radar is looking clear. Temperature right now, 83 degrees at the launch site. We do have a little bit of a northeasterly wind coming in here off the Gulf of Mexico. A little bit of a sea breeze going on right there. Winds at about between 13 and 15 miles per hour is what I'm seeing. Let me see. Go to Radar Omega here, double check this again. And yeah, 15 on the last update. So radar sweep obviously is clear at this time. See what the buoys are showing here on the coast. Yeah, 15 there too. That seems to be pretty. So it's a steady sea breeze, roughly about 15 miles per hour. So should not be a problem for this rocket. It's well within its threshold to be able to launch under those conditions. So looking very good indeed. Hey, Janelle. Good to see you. Janelle, 136 in the house. How you doing, Janelle? Yeah, we're doing a live broadcast for SpaceX. I was sitting there going this afternoon. I was like, you know what? I think I want to do this one live. I threw a little icon on there. I know everybody's doing their own broadcast, but I want to do this from a kind of a weather perspective as we're counting down launch. Obviously, we got excellent conditions here. I don't see anything to prevent this from going on. I just looked at some of the upper level winds aloft too, so I don't see anything being a problem there as well. So the winds aloft look pretty good, because you can't just look at the surface. You got to look at what's going on above as well. Anything could cause any potential kind of turbulence That's something they did have with, which flight was that one that they had the gyration on there? That was flight 2, I believe. They had a little bit of turbulence as they were cutting through that. So, but we're about 4 minutes away from the broadcast coming in here on, 5 minutes away from the broadcast starting here on SpaceX. So this is the SpaceX line. We'll be looking at them. I got their audio ready to go. We'll be showing that here very shortly as well. And I'm just kind of using the different camera views here at streaming out on YouTube to kind of show the different launch sites here. So everybody's ready to go, man. Everybody's excited. Whenever these bad boy launches, it gets more and more exciting. It's just, to me, that amazes me how much of a jump from the first launch to now in just a little over a year, and how more advanced, how much they've gotten. That first one, hey, got off the ground, they blew a hole in their. I can't believe they didn't think that their little thing was not going to work without a water suppression system. I don't know what they were thinking. They said, what the hell, we're just going to launch it. Blew a big ass hole, and of course some of the rock debris bounced up and hit the bottom of the rocket, caused some damage, but at least got off the pad. It separated, and then they had to blow it up. And then they got the separation, then they got into orbit, then by flight 5, they landed the damn thing, which is really amazing. And this one is really kind of a carbon copy of the one just from last month. The only difference here is that the top section, Starship section, is going to be landing when it's still light outside, because when they were landing last time, it was dark. You got an idea what you're seeing, but now they're going to have the barges in place where we'll be able to see it a lot better, and to see how it looks as it hovers before it flops down into the Indian Ocean. So, and I'm really hoping that they solve the problems with the booster when it lands, because when it was landing, it relit it, blew out the whole side panel. So hopefully the paneling around the bottom where those Raptor engines are sitting at are actually been reinforced and are not going to blow off when those 3 rockets light back up for the landing for the booster there. Yes, Greg is on this. I admit I'm a Starship geek. I damn sure was going to launch a Starship channel. There's just too damn many of them out there, and boy, they all got their big followings on that. So I'm just doing this from a weather geek perspective on this. So absolutely, but it's at least the weather. I can tell from a weather perspective, which is what this broadcast is for. We're looking excellent. There should be nothing to keep this thing from going off the ground. Hey, Stu Stansky, good to see you there, Stu. Good to see you, man. MAGA, we won. Yeah, well, maybe. No politics on the Weather Nerds channel. We're here to talk weather and SpaceX. How you doing, Stu? How y'all doing? All right. So, I just can't look at the. I said it. It's an 8-degree temperature between 91 here and 83 here. This is why you got a sea breeze. You got warmer inland and cooler off the coast. So that's why we got a 15-mile-per-hour sea breeze there blowing, because of the difference in temperature on the coast compared to inland. It's still summertime in South Texas. Damn, 90-degree temperatures. They can have that. I don't think it'll be too bad of a ride, Janelle. I think they're going to have a good ride. Again, I was looking more aloft for the turbulence. I wanted to see if there was going to be any kind of turbulence. And looking at the upper level winds, I'm not seeing anything that's going to cause a problem there on that side. Let me go ahead and pull that up real quick. Let's see if I can look at the upper air winds here. 700 millibars is really the main thing here. And let me go down toward Texas here, U.S. states, and let's go to South Texas. There we go. Yeah, they're really light. Really not a problem. Looking at what time today is right now at 4 o'clock. Yeah, it's relatively light, looking really good. I guess I should have thought about bringing this up, so let's go ahead and talk about this. So right now, looking at the model data here, we're looking at pretty good winds down here. So this is relatively light. This is sitting at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Obviously, rougher winds up here toward the north, up toward Houston and area up there. But down here at the launch site, no, it's looking pretty good. Winds aloft looking very good. This is at 700 millibars, so sitting at about 7,000 to 8,000 feet. So looking pretty good right now. Not bad at all. Should be seeing this thing going off here pretty good. Let's go back to the live look here. Yep, there they go. I think they're getting ready to. They're in T-Myers. They're in broadcast mode. I don't know what the heck that's from. Flight test. That must be from the older one that they're showing off there. Let's listen in here. Let me get their. Let's see what they're doing here. Looks like they are now broadcasting.
Reach out and catch the returning booster. We're only going to attempt to catch it. Everything on the booster and tower checks out after launch, but either way, excitement is definitely guaranteed.
Yep. Yeah, that's not the current sky. That's something I think from an earlier flight or something. That's not the current flight. Yeah, that must have been from earlier. I'm going to keep a watchful eye on that. I'm looking at the SpaceX site here.
Aluminum tiles that are there to help the team understand the thermodynamic environment during re-entry. If you were with us for Flight 5, you'll know how hard those heat shield tiles work.
Low pressure and heavy wind. Yeah, up there off the West Coast, absolutely. They're going to.
This big heat shield rework that we're talking about promises to increase the likelihood of Starship being better protected during controlled re-entry as it heads towards its flip maneuver and landing burn for a soft splashdown on target in the Indian Ocean.
So yeah, they're talking about I was just mentioning that a minute ago. I was talking about the fact that the tiles were going to be a little bit less because of that. So.
We want to learn as much as possible, and views of Starship during all phases of flight help us to keep improving the vehicle for recovery and reuse.
Now, thinking forward to when Starship is flying regularly, it will take the heaviest payloads to space, land humans on the moon again after more than half a century, and ultimately fly people further into space than ever before.
So we'll go back over here to the two while they're talking. They can talk a little bit.
Fly often, which is why we're working so hard to scale operations at Starbase.
Yeah, the faster that we learn
It's like, how come they always got to have two ladies, man? They always have ladies on these broadcasts. They need a guy on there, man.
We've been designing this vehicle from day one to realize a vision of having an entire city of people on Mars.
I tell you, that'd be a great job. I would love to do something like that because I know I could handle something like that pretty well. That would be a lot of fun.
Require many starships that can fly again and again, and today's flight is a critical step on that path.
So, buckle up your seatbelts because here we go. The moon and Mars are not nearly as far in the
I want to know why they're showing that old camera, or somebody playing a trick on me and making.
You might be familiar with the Starlink logo, and there you can see it on your screen. It's an iconic representation of the Mars transfer orbit, also called the Hohmann transfer orbit.
Yeah, I'll be watching that closely, just making sure.
SpaceX. This transfer window, or a time when the Earth and Mars are the closest to each other, opens every 26 months.
Let me go back over here.
2 to 3 months at a time for a vehicle with Starship's power. And it just so happens that the next Mars transfer window opens in 2 years.
Oh man, some of these guys. I'm looking at some of these other live broadcasts over on YouTube. Some of these guys I know real well, and they've got very professional with their flight stuff.
and more time to get there.
Exactly. So the first opportunity that we have to fly Starship to Mars, we plan on doing. These first flights to Mars will be uncrewed and will test the reliability of landing and taxi.
All right, let's see here.
Well, the first crewed flights will follow soon after.
So it's safe to say it's all happening. And flight
Oh Lord, some of these people out there doing their broadcasts are kind of funny to look at.
to the Starship flight today, based on what we've learned from our last flight, including extensive upgrades to Starship's hardware and software, we've also made improvements to the launch time.
I'm going to switch this over to the AP. I want to make sure that this is not a
Some of the live
bogus site here. So stand by here for a second.
stacking the
Let me-
second launch tower, which will be
Yep,
coming
I'm going to switch this over. Stand by, guys.
operational launch tower.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Boosters rolling off the line.
Switching over to AP.
Starship's first ever physical payload, which is
This is the Associated Press broadcast. That's SpaceX. I think that other one that I was showing there, I think someone's streaming the old broadcast because when I saw the sun coming up, I thought that didn't look right. So somebody's playing games. Don't you love that on YouTube? You get some jackass that's going to sit there and play games. What's up with the bananas, guys?
Give us a chance to do a test run of payload approval processes with the FAA, and that's something that we're hoping to
Yeah, Janelle, when I saw that sky, I was going, wait a minute, that looked like the broadcast, because the Starship 5 launch was done in the morning.
Additional size for context, you can see on your
That's a flight tile. That's why they had the bananas. That's the size. Okay.
better sense of how big Starship is. Let's take the average size banana next to the average size human, which is about 2 meters high. Towering over our
That's interesting.
is the length of the Millennium Falcon, which comes in at 35 meters. Our Falcon 9
Don't you love that?
attached is double the size of the Millennium Falcon at 70 meters, and nearly twice the size of that is the fully integrated
Turn that down a little bit.
at 121 meters tall. The ship is about 50 meters, and the super.
I want to make sure I want to keep it up high enough for me to listen to, but not cause you guys too much echo.
And booster even taller in the future.
And yeah, it might be hard to imagine that because it's pretty big already. Now, Starship's first stage has
Well, getting close, man. It's about 24 minutes to launch.
as you can see on your screen, with 30
So we got clear skies there, still looking very good on the satellite imagery.
up at the aft
Um,
Starship there at
we double check the latest wind conditions again.
the ship features 6
I'm not saying a word.
levels and 3 vacuum engines, which
That's okay. Like I said, I thought, yeah, I'm telling you, I think somebody was there. It was probably not the SpaceX. It said SpaceX Inc. I think somebody was streaming the fifth launch, and they're BSing saying it wasn't the live one. Now this is from the Associated Press, so I know that this is actually the actual live streaming here from the Associated Press.
Not just once, but multiple times. It took the teams at SpaceX about 3 years to develop the heat shield on Starship.
So we're getting really close here, guys. Getting here real close. Let me go back here to Radar Mega here. I'm double checking the wind, see if they've updated, see if they've changed any here. Checking some of the sky conditions. Ooh, that's got winds gusting up to 20 now on the buoy. So I was noticing the buoy out here. This one's gusting up to 20. That's 16. As long as it stays under 20, I think we'll be okay. So looking good here weather-wise, guys.
testing the heat shield tiles in environments
It's gonna be a fun launch.
which we'll see more of in just a few minutes. You know, slightly different than coming back to Earth.
It's literally, if you were that view that you saw, we were looking straight out. If you took a right turn, and I believe it's like a half a mile or 3/4 of a mile, and you're in Mexico. The line, the border is literally sitting right there. It's that close to the Mexican border. Don't ask me why they pitched it right there.
Starship successfully lifted off at 7:25 a.m.
That was Starship 5. Remember, see this light conditions?
sunrise
Yeah.
descent that was fairly quickly followed by the hot stage separation maneuver, which we see here, as well as on
Boom. I tell you, that separation shot was just absolutely amazing. They didn't release that until, I think it was like a week or two after the launch when they released that.
which you see there. The booster then performed its boost back burn, which brought it back on a trajectory.
So looking pretty good here.
The launch tower back to the Gulf Coast.
Now watch when this thing came on down. When this thing came on down, we had it blew when that thing relit. Boom! It blew out the side panel. That's why it had flames coming out the side. So I'm really hoping that those engineers, because I really thought this thing was going to crash into the tower when it was making that landing. I really did.
Came back for a successful
But it caught it
catch by the chopstick arms back at the
right at sunrise. That's what I'm saying. That other broadcast, that was clearly Flight 5. And here's where the entry here. Now here's the big thing. When this thing lands this time, we're going to be able to see it. About 20 minutes to launch time. Getting close. This is gonna be something. History being made here, folks. History today. Let's hope we don't have an explosion on the pad. That's the big thing. No explosions on the pads. Hey, thank you for the likes, by the way. I appreciate everybody putting the likes on there. Wow, it was quite a few of them on there. More than I would have thought. Getting close. We're 20 minutes from launch here, and if you're just tuning in, again, recapping quickly as we're watching the SpaceX live stream here on the channel, we're looking pretty good right now. The radar conditions look clear. We got clear skies. We got a bit of a northeasterly wind blowing in here off the Gulf of Mexico, but it's well within tolerance. Should not be a problem there. It is pretty warm. It is pretty warm indeed there right now. As temperature of 83 degrees there, just above the launch site. Again, that launch site's just south of that stick, so the launch site's sitting right down here, Look, it's 91 degrees inland, but 83 along the coast there. That's why we got a decent sea breeze blowing. It's that difference in temperature that gives you that sea breeze condition. And as far as the satellite imagery is looking good, we got a few clouds down into Mexico, but otherwise it's looking pretty good. We're looking very well here for launch right now. So things looking very nice here as we continue to look at these cameras. We're T-minus 19 minutes from launch, getting real close. And as you can tell, I'm definitely a big geek when it comes to stuff like this. I'm very excited. There's the trajectory path that they're talking about right there. Let's see. Oops, what we got here? Somebody just texted me here. I think it's my. Let's see. All right, gotta check on my dad later. Physical therapy kicked his butt apparently. Get 18 down 18 minutes, down 18 minutes now, 18:50. Count it down. This is so exciting, man. It's like waiting for the ball to drop in Times Square. that's the best thing I could compare it to. Go studio mode here. I'll double check and make sure my satellite is updating here, which I don't believe it is. Yeah, that's why I was talking earlier about the thermal protection system. How they're gonna go ahead and what they're gonna do is they're gonna test to see how much with a new alloy that they're putting on there as far as extra protection be underneath the tiles. Yep. Look at that clear sky there, man. See the clear sky there in South Texas, looking very nice indeed. Boy, they're really going to push. They're going to push the limits on this thing. Hope it doesn't break. We just hope it doesn't break apart, man. I almost feel like I want to throw up a Mr. Scott icon from Star Trek. You know, it's I'm giving it all she's got, Captain. They're going to really stretch the limit on this thing this time. T-minus 17 minutes at 17:25. Counting it down. We're watching the live AP broadcast, Starship Live on this here a little bit. I'm going to turn this audio down here just a little bit. And so, again, we're looking pretty good here for the broadcast here. Get out of studio mode here. And we're going to see and make sure this thing looks pretty good here. I'm going to my interactive mode here. 17, count it down. Of course, I always get nervous when I see these launches. I'm going to turn this down here for a minute because when I see the launches, I always think back in 1986 when the shuttle, the Challenger went up and, they got past max Q and they were going at full throttle up. And, of course, it blew at that time. Of course, it's a different propulsion system. That was liquid oxygen, liquid hydrogen, and this is completely different setup for this one. They don't use those explosive devices there for that. So this is going to be a little bit different, but I always get a little nervous when they go through the maximum dynamic pressure on a vehicle as it's going through the atmosphere. So, which of course is just natural here.
Booster catch, there are thousands of criteria that need to be met in order to proceed with catch.
Catching that booster. We're coming down 16 minutes. 16 minutes. Counting it down. 16 minutes.
And the flight director must issue a manual command, which is
and we're looking pretty good here for a good landing here.
Prior to the completion of the boost back burn, or if automated health checks show unacceptable conditions with super heavy or the tower, the booster will
man.
to a trajectory that takes it.
Look at those angles. I never saw some of those angles before. Wow.
I remember when we first heard the call out that tower was go for catch on Flight 5, and wow.
All right, coming up on 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
Now, for today's test, just like Flight 5, we're only going to catch if everything on the booster and the tower checks out after launch. As always,
I still wonder when they're talking about catching the system again. I keep coming back to the wind report, which is looks like it came down a little bit. Looks like the new update. Still showing 15. Still showing 15 there. and I'm looking 17 to 20. There at that buoy there. This buoy here showing 16 and 19 and 13, 16 there. So the winds are going between 15 and 20. And I always wonder about what kind of wind are they nervous about as far as when the landing comes in there. I think 15 is pretty standard down there for sea breeze. It shouldn't be a big problem for the system to catch that with that kind of wind. The calculations that the computers are doing are so fast. It isn't like there's a human that's launching that's doing it. It's automated, just like with the Falcon 9s.
This is something commonly associated with reusable spacecraft. It's just
so we're at coming down to T-minus 14 minutes here. 14 minutes from launch of SpaceX Booster 6 or number six on the Starship launch test here. As we continue to watch this, we go back here. Oops, there we go. Looking at the different camera criteria here as we continue to count it down.
get your attention, and we were able to hear it last time. The impact or how loud it is changes pretty dramatically. In this video, you can see
boom, boom, yeah, that sonic boom. Oh, here it comes. That's the Flight 5 landing there.
You heard. Now that was picked up from closer to the pad. Most people at our distance and further away, you're only going to hear one or two as they're happening.
Boom, boom. When I was actually saw the space shuttle, it was Columbia. Actually, it was Columbia that was landing when I saw that in 1990. 98 we were down there, and when it was coming for landing, and when it was coming in, you heard the boom, the two sonic booms when it was coming on. Hey, James, good to see you, James. Welcome to the broadcast here. Yeah, I decided this morning. I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to do a live broadcast for the Starship launch. Yeah, weather's looking really good there, James. Looking very nice indeed. Check out the satellite picture, man. That's updated, looking very nice. Actually, I think delaying a day was probably better because conditions from weather standpoint are definitely much better. All right, down less than 12 minutes, down less than 13 minutes now. Getting close.
The moon and Mars are not nearly as far in the future as you may think. In fact, we're planning to send Starships to Mars as soon as 2026.
2026, did you hear that? They're going to try to do that in 2026. That's less than 2 years from now. They're talking in 2 years, they're going to be sending, and at the rate they're going, it wouldn't shock me. It really wouldn't. What do you guys think? You think it's going to, where is this at? Oh, okay, I can show you where it is right here, actually. It is right here. It is right here on the tip of Florida. It's right down here. It's literally right on the border between Mexico and Texas. Boca Chica. So that's where the launch site is currently sitting right there. So we're getting real close. Less 12 minutes now. 12 minutes from launch. Hey, welcome to the Weather Nerds YouTube channel, and we're doing live coverage here, watching the weather as we're getting ready to do the launch on Starship launch number 6 here on this. And I do appreciate you guys checking out the broadcast today. Getting really close, man. We're about 11 minutes out. Yeah, the only thing I see is a little bit of a wind, and that's about it. I checked the upper level winds aloft. They look really good for launch. Shouldn't be anything that should cause any kind of turbulence there. The stronger winds are to the north, and the trajectory of the launch trajectory is almost taking it out due west. It shouldn't have a problem. Yeah, a little over a year. I tell you, I know Elon Musk is on a time crunch on this, but I tell you, if they could do that by then. Hey, you're on Texas by Louisiana. You know what? I know those clouds, man. Louisiana coastline. Here's the clouds. I know sometimes from Pensacola you can actually see the launch, but those clouds up toward Louisiana might cause some problems.
On the lunar surface, they'll ride the elevator down in their Axiom EMU spacesuits from Axiom Space.
Oh, can you imagine with this? I mean, the people's interest in the space program, if they're able to take a SpaceX like that, land it on the moon, and the folks coming down and doing all, I mean, that's just going to be absolutely amazing.
That is so exciting, and all the advancements that are going to come in order.
All right, we're coming up on T-minus 10 minutes, almost 10 minutes now, 10 minutes and 20 seconds here. We're counting down here, getting really close. It's clear there now. Well, if you're looking down to the south, you might be able to see it. It's very feasible. Good that it's cleared out of there, James. Thanks. I know I went down to the beach in Pensacola and I saw Flight 1 before they blew it up. But I saw Flight 1 down on the beach. I could see some of the stuff come over the horizon a little bit.
While we do determine a acceptable
Elon is the man.
level of
Are we sure he's not an alien? That's my thing.
as fast as possible, we
Personally, I loved it when Elon Musk sat there. My best Elon Musk moment, I tell you, when Disney was trying to blackmail him on stuff, and he told the chairman of Disney to go F off. I thought that was priceless. I was like, you're not blackmailing me. F you. So looking pretty good. And boy, we added another subscriber. I don't know if I'm getting new subscribers from the broadcast or from my stuff I posted today, but we've been adding subscribers here. Oh, for those who didn't know, and since I got a little bit more of an audience here, I want to mention this again. I do have my weather radios here, and we're going to be doing a live broadcast for the announce the winners. My daughters have the list now, so I just told them, here, you pick 4, you pick the other 4, and get the names back to me. So I'm keeping myself out of it. I'm letting them pick it, and then we'll go ahead and do those announcements. I got a nice little graphic. I'm probably gonna have a Santa hat on. I'll have my decorations on, and we'll announce the winners and stuff, and have a little fun for Christmas to give away those radios. But we're getting really close here. We're down, almost coming up to 8 minutes to launch time. Hopefully, there's no delays. Cross your fingers that everything from a technical aspect, there's nothing. All the pumps and everything. Yeah, I got a good Santa hat, Janelle. I got a good one. I don't have it with me. It's out of the office, but yeah, I'm gonna be playing Santa Claus with the hat. I'll definitely have the Santa hat on. All right, we're coming up on T-minus 8 minutes. 8 minutes from launch here. Getting closer here to launch here. As we're watching the SpaceX simulcast here on the AP. That's what I'm using here for the broadcast here. We're also checking out the multicams here, the different sites from different camera locations. There's folks, there's YouTubers that have got sites set up all over the place. So we're kind of looking at the 4 chats there, but we're really going to stay focused here, obviously, on the SpaceX launch here as we're getting closer and closer to launch. Weather right now is looking excellent. We got a temperature of 83 degrees. We got a wind coming out of the northeast at about 15 miles per hour. The wind's aloft about checking above the surface. Looks pretty good. Shouldn't have away of turbulence there. Looks pretty good over the Gulf as it's taking a almost due westerly trajectory out over the Gulf of Mexico as it's going to be heading out into a suborbital flight. It's still not an orbital flight. It's got the juice to do an orbital flight, but they're not doing that yet. I think number 7 is going to be an orbital flight, and I think they may bring it back to Boca Raton. I don't know if they're going to try to land it there or if they're going to crash out in the Gulf of Mexico. I haven't heard yet on what Flight 7 is going to be. I know Flight 7 is supposed to be the version 2, which is going to have a lot of upgrades that they learn with these other lessons for that. But right now we're 7 minutes from launch on the system.
Aside from looking awesome, this is important testing.
Getting really close here.
Entry will cause the CO2 to break down into its base elements, exposing Starship to atomic oxygen, which increases surface heating and can cause.
It's looking pretty good here. Just I'm double checking the updates here. And let me double check this. I'm going to check.
When compared to Earth.
Oops, not that one.
As we continue to test, we'll learn more about what makes a great mission to Mars. All right, now that we're heading into the final minutes of the countdown, let's go back to Dan for the latest on the ground there.
Oh, let's go back here. Sorry, my bad. I was just playing around. Sorry about that.
Good news for you. We have a go from our range safety team. We are a little over 90% full on ship, almost 85% full on booster. And not tracking any holds to an on-time liftoff. So we've got about 3 more minutes of prop load. As long as the range stays clear, we don't trip any other holds.
All right, looking good.
T-minus 40-second mark and liftoff right at the top of our
Sounds like we're getting
at
close.
4 p.m. Central.
Yeah, fly. No, did I say west? I meant east. I'm sorry.
But fun part about to start.
My brain's not working. I'm sorry, James. It's flying east, not west.
All right. So we are continuing to progress now. 5 minutes and 40 seconds until liftoff. Now, once we pass the T-minus 40-second mark,
all right, we're getting down to 5 minutes here, getting close to launch time.
The ground spin and ignition systems will come up to flight.
I think I did that this morning on one of my things. I said the northwest instead of northeast. I don't know. I think I'm just getting old, getting a little senile, I guess.
Shortly after T0.
All right, we're coming down to 5 minutes before launch here. I'll turn this down a little loud. I'll keep it as background, guys. Yeah, I apologize. Thanks, James. All right, so we're about 93% capacity. They load up. They got to load that stuff up and they got to cut it because that stuff, you see the steam coming off. That stuff evaporates. It's liquid oxygen, not oxygen. It's hydrogen and I forget the other kerosene. And that stuff, it evaporates so quickly. So they got to doing the fueling almost right up to the time before this thing actually lights, because they got to keep the whole, you know, as much of the propellant as they can, obviously.
We've got a much larger crowd here than when we were launching at 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah, I'd say launching this time of day, you got a good crowd here, that's for sure. All right, we're coming down to 4 minutes. Oh, I'm getting excited. Oh, the geek in me, my inner geek is coming out. Looking good, looking good. Oh, I'm getting excited. How about you guys? You guys getting excited? Got any comments? Go ahead and put them down below, man. Let's keep the chat going a little bit. This is really exciting. Weather looks great. I love a clear skies. Kova, yeah, smiley face Kova. Looking good, looking good. All right, getting close here.
It is still going great. Just coming up on about 3.5 minutes away. So we should be done with our prop load on ship momentarily. Then about 30 seconds later, we'll close out on booster. Our flight control team on board, or in the building just behind me, not on board. Some of them might wish they were on board. Flight control team in the building behind me, they're going to have a lot of work to do right after we lift off. As we still have a lot of manual checks that happen on the tower prior to the flight director, who's going to be Tristan Pierce again today.
All right, here we go, getting good. Hey, Layton, good to see you there, little brother. I appreciate you checking out, watching with me, man. Let's be the geeks together and watch this launch. It's awesome. I started about 4 o'clock, been watching the weather here all afternoon. Right now, launch conditions look excellent. Just a little bit of a northeasterly wind at 15 miles per hour. Conditions above over the Gulf of Mexico look excellent. I looked at the flight level winds going out. Looks very good indeed. So we're looking pretty good. Everything looks great for launch here. We're coming down to T-minus almost 2.5 minutes here to launch. I can imagine if you're anywhere up and down the Texas coast here, just up and down here, and you're looking at this thing as this thing launches out in this direction, it's going to look very good all up and down that Texas coast. It's clear as a bell out there right now. Let me get back to the 2 minutes here. Getting close. Thank you, everybody, for checking us out here on our first time I've ever decided to do a live coverage of the SpaceX launch. A little bit, obviously, a weather perspective because this is a weather channel, obviously. But it's good to have you guys here on board. That's okay, Layton. That's all right there. You got to do what you got to do, man. Getting real close. All right, getting close here.
And then about a second after T0, we should see liftoff. About 2.5 minutes into the flight, a little bit longer, we'll see hot staging, and that's when we're going to be listening really close on those loops to see if we're going to be bringing the booster back for a catch today. Do always want to caution.
All righty.
It's never a guarantee.
Let's go. Let's go.
We'll see if we do it again. We're only going to do it.
Come on, SpaceX. Let's get this thing going.
Really
1 minute, almost 1 minute here.
Attempt to bring it back here. But
woo!
Not tracking any holds on the board right now. So as long as we don't have any.
Hey, good to see you there. 6 more years and I graduate and I can go to college. All right, Layton. Here we go. Less than a minute, guys.
T-minus 1 minute.
I'm gonna keep this kind of in the middle.
Key moment to look at in 10 seconds.
All right.
40.
Come on. Light this candle.
Right through that.
Here we go. Let's count it down together. Let's from 10, okay, guys? Let's count it down.
All right, we're now T-minus 20 seconds until liftoff of Starship Flight 6.
Oh, here we
This will
go.
mark our second attempt to catch the Super Heavy booster at the launch tower, as well as
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
2, 1.
There's a delay. There it goes. Launch that baby. Here it goes. Yeah, here we go. All right. Ooh, I got goosebumps. I'm such a geek. Oh, this is awesome. Go, baby, go. Go, go, go. My first live broadcast here on a SpaceX launch, and it is cleared the tower.
Pressure nominal.
Here it goes.
Booster and ship, avionics, power, and telemetry nominal.
We go studio mode here. I'm going to have to adjust this a little bit, so I just noticed I'm pinching the bottom a little bit. So stand by, I'll fix that.
Field
All right, we're
reached
just a little over a minute
maximum
into flight.
dynamic pressure.
We're about 6 miles away, so all the sound's still hitting us here. Hearing good call-outs that power telemetry nominal, that's flying straight and true. We do see all 33 Raptor engines lit up on telemetry screens. At this point, we've passed through that point of maximum aerodynamic pressure, that max Q. Now coming up in just a little over a minute from now is going to be hot staging. So we're going to see.
I just got to take that out. I want to make sure we can watch the trajectory, watch the telemetry on there as well.
The booster just before
So
that,
I pulled that out a little bit.
But 3 center engines on the booster shut down. In what we call MECO, it's most engines cut off instead of main engine.
Come on.
And so while we continue to watch it go up, a lot of our flight controllers looking at all the systems around the tower. Again, we have to send a manual command.
Here come coming up on hot staging.
30 seconds away from hot staging.
Come on, baby. Come on. All right, because we gotta see if that wind is going to cause any problem when it comes back in. All right. So we got a little bit of a northeasterly wind.
And we heard the tower is go for catch.
Booster engine cut off.
The return flag is set for true.
There it goes. Boom.
Ship engine start up.
Here it comes. Hot staging complete.
All right, hot staging confirmed. 6 out of 6 lit on the ship. Booster boost back going. We heard that we are
that's
go
awesome.
for catch. Kate, Jesse, take the views. Hopefully I got a booster coming home real soon.
Wow, from our view here, Dan, great views of planet Earth behind that super heavy booster. Right now it is performing the
Ship
boost back burn.
nominal.
Getting close.
Good news there, telling us that the pressures inside the ship are good. That is the second stage, or the upper portion of
Let's
the vehicle.
hope it doesn't have that problem it had before where it blew out the side tower.
Yeah,
or the side paneling, I should say.
Super Heavy is currently in its boost back burn. This boost back burn.
Avionics, power, and telemetry nominal.
This boost back burn lasts just a little bit over a minute, so we've got a little, approximately 30 seconds left.
Come on, here it goes. Come on.
We've had shutdown of that boost back burn. Up next will be hot stage jettison. The view from the camera on the left, or from the booster on the left-hand side of your screen.
Woo!
And then tracking cam there on the right-hand side
Let's
of your
go.
screen.
Come on.
We'll see those grid fins.
Booster offshore divert.
And we can also see that the hot stage has been jettisoned.
Yes, visual confirmation
That's
of
that piece
there on
that
your screen,
flashes
which
in
is
the
great.
ocean before it makes
the
its
next-
Starship
landing.
is following a nominal trajectory.
The next step for booster is going into that landing burn. Again, it'll light up 13 of those engines and then pare down to 3 engines right before booster catch.
All right, now just real quick, we did hear the call out, booster offshore divert. Unfortunately, that means that we are no-go for the catch. As we said before, both the tower and the vehicle, as well as the operators on console, have been actively evaluating the commit criteria for that return to the launch tower. And unfortunately, we did not have a pass on those commit criteria. So we are no-go for tower catch.
I was worried about the
We
wind.
did mention that. We're constantly evaluating the criteria for catch. There's a lot of things that need to go well in order to line that up. Unfortunately, today we will forego.
Oh, that
booster
sucks. They're
catch
not going to
today.
catch it. That's
But
terrible.
what
I
you're
love
seeing
that.
on
That
your
was such a
screen
cool
is
shot.
Ship, currently making its way towards the Indian Ocean. Still looking good so far.
Exactly. So views there of the booster on the left-hand side of your screen, views of the ship on the right-hand side of your screen.
The media will
Now, we
spin
said
that as a
before
fail.
that it was not guaranteed that we would be able to make a tower catch today. So while we were hoping for it, like we said, it was
I
pretty
was
epic
worried
on
about the
attempt
wind.
one,
I
but,
really was.
the
That's why I
safety
was
of
watching that
the
wind
teams
criteria.
and the public and
Because
and
when
the
it
pad
launched
itself
during the
are,
morning hours, when it
paramount.
launched
So
in the morning
we are
hours, you don't have that
accepting no
sea breeze to
compromises in
contend
any
with.
of those areas.
Launching in the afternoon, it was
Exactly. We're
97
still going
degrees
to get a
inland
lot
and
of
80. You
good
got a decent,
flight
you got
data
a pretty
with
decent
booster even, but
a
especially
sea
with
breeze
ship,
blowing
again,
in
we have an
there.
additional
So
objective
anything that
today
could
to
blow
do
that thing off while it's trying to make
in-space
that landing by
relight
those
of a
cross
Raptor
sticks.
engine, which again will help us
Yeah,
set
that,
us up
that was
for,
my concern.
being able to do deep
Look at those
burns,
shots. That's
Ship
amazing.
camouflage is phenomenal.
which is important for orbital flights. And what you're seeing on your screen is a view from Super Heavy as it's making its way back down to Earth.
Yeah, once again, we are attempting an offshore landing of the Super Heavy booster. So we have seen this before.
Yeah,
and
it was
is
splashdown.
Still very fun to watch, watching it come down
There it comes.
for a soft splashdown off the Gulf Coast of Texas. We can
I still
see
think
that
it was the
they're
wind.
re-entering. We saw earlier those grid fins. There are 4 hypersonic
Here it comes.
grid fins. We can see that
Launch.
the landing
Here it
burn
goes.
has begun on the Super Heavy booster.
And same pattern, 13 engines will light, gone down to 3 just as we expected.
Gonna hold there for a minute,
And what an incredible view
There
of
it goes.
splashdown that we got today.
and then over it
From
goes.
Super Heavy.
Well, at least
Yeah,
they
I'm
can
sure
bring it
the
down
BB
pretty
cam
good.
Views will be pretty awesome once again. So we'd like to confirm a water landing once again for the Super Heavy booster. Congrats to the SpaceX team for making that milestone as well. Now, ship continues
Now
to
milestones
look
when you
good.
catch it with the damn chopsticks,
We can
man.
see that it is, while all of that was happening, the crowd here in Hawthorne continuing to react to all these amazing views that we're getting. The next milestone is
Starship is in terminal guidance.
great news there. Starship terminal guidance, referring to what we see here on our screen, the upper stage, at about 8 minutes 35 seconds or so.
Gonna
We
shut down.
have ship engine cutoff,
Right.
which will be the cutoff of the Raptor engines. We can see on our
Now
screen.
notice the
ship
altitude,
giving us
guys.
some
It's definitely
incredible
not as
views
high as it would
brought
if
to
it was
us
going into an orbital
by
light. It would be going
Starlink.
shooting up to like 200
This view is also
nautical
very
miles.
interesting because we can see basically the receding tile line that we referred to earlier, where we mentioned we have removed a number of heat shield tiles in order to test out and push the envelope on the ship and demonstrate what its capabilities are.
Ship engine cutoff.
Yes, you notice it sitting right
And there
there.
we just heard call out for SECO, ship engine cutoff. Great news there. Everything continuing to look awesome for ship.
Full view looking aft on ship here.
Ship FTS is saved.
Is it cut off?
Nominal orbit insertion.
There's
All
that
right.
call out we were waiting for. Confirmation of good orbital insertion for ship today.
It has been a very exciting.
It's amazing,
afternoon
amazing how
so
quickly you go
far.
in 9 minutes. How
We'd
this
like
thing
to
just
send it back
gets itself
over
into
to
orbit
Dan,
like
who
that.
can give us that live view experience. Dan, once again, are you okay after witnessing another Starship launch?
Yeah, totally fine.
Did you see it? Oh,
You
James,
guys
did
have
you
to
see
be
it?
jealous. This is the only way to do this. This is fantastic. No, it was really cool to see it lift off 33 out of 33. Didn't go for the booster catch today. Initially, we were good, and then we tripped a commit criteria and did the offshore divert. So we went and did that water landing, as everybody saw. We'll dig into it a little bit more, but again, we've done it once, we've now done it twice. We're going to keep trying to do it as this is just a core.
Yeah, they want to make
capability of
that
Starship
nominal.
and
That's
what's
probably the
gonna make
hardest
it so
thing. I mean,
incredible.
bringing that
There's a
thing
lot
back
left.
and catching
We're
it.
just about almost 10 minutes into this flight. So about 50 plus minutes still to
Oh,
go.
you did? Oh, cool.
Ship nominal
Yeah,
orbit,
that was
so
probably
it's on
it.
its way
It
around
did
the
look, probably look
planet.
like a cloud,
It's gonna
absolutely.
attempt to do an in-space burn. We're going to light one of those Raptor engines, the sea level ones in the middle, just to help demonstrate that we can relight in that microgravity environment. Really
Okay, they're
critical
going to relaunch in
for
space.
deorbit
That's the
burns,
first.
as we start to do some orbital missions in the not too distant future. And then following that, we'll see a ship entry, maybe a splashdown. As you guys said, we're really going to be pushing ship on this one. We're pretty much intentionally putting it in places where we expect it might not do so great. And all that's to try and help us learn, see if we're.
Well, you are a good distance away, James. It probably was hard to
that
see.
opens up more capability for when we start catching them. But I'll check back in with everybody in a little bit.
So they're
I'm gonna
intentionally
tune in
beating
and
the
watch
crap
the
out of
ship
it.
fly
This
around planet
mission
Earth,
is
and hopefully we see
they're
it
beating the
re-entering
crap
in the
out of this
not-too-distant
system
future. Back over to
deliberately
you
to
guys.
see what it can take.
Thanks, Dan. Development testing, by definition, is unpredictable, which we saw with super heavy splashing down in the Gulf of Mexico today, but that is exactly why we test. As is standard for these tests, the area around the pad and along the flight path was cleared.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't want to bring that
launch,
thing
and
back
we
if you
expect
thought
the
there was a
road
chance it
and
was
beach
going to crash into your
remain
tower
closed
and
until
take
further
out God
notice.
knows
Yeah,
how
testing,
much.
development, flight hardware
millions of dollars
in
worth
a
of
flight
equipment.
environment is what enables our teams to quickly learn and execute design changes and hardware upgrades to improve the probability of success in the future. Please do not attempt to approach the booster in the water for your safety as well as for that of our team that will be working on recovery. Now, we are going to continue, though. The mission is not done.
They actually had to put out a
Exactly. The
thing: do
mission's
not
not over.
approach
Ship is still
the
coasting,
booster
but it
rocket
has
floating
been
in the Gulf of
nonstop
Mexico.
since
Oh, come on.
liftoff, and with the booster having completed its job for the day, we are going to take a short break for the next 35 minutes or so while ship continues to coast before re-entry. Now, as with previous flights, Starlink may enable us to talk to the ship through re-entry with no communication blackout. Now, we are still testing Starlink during this phase of flight, so nothing is completely certain.
All right, ain't no problem, James. Here, thanks a lot for checking us out there, brother.
Sure to bring those to you
Thanks for
live.
watching the
And of
broadcast.
course, one of those views include that of our, as we said before, surprise payload, the banana, and we are looking forward to it. So we're going to come back in a few minutes, around T plus 35 minutes.
All right.
Exactly.
Okay, that's going to do it
Views
for the
or no views,
broadcast,
we'll see
guys.
you back here at T
They're
plus
shutting
40
down. I'm going to go
minutes
check.
for
But
our
thanks for
coverage of
everybody for
Starship's
joining me
re-entry,
here for the
flip
broadcast for the
maneuver,
launch.
landing
I was really
burn,
hoping
and
we were going to
hopefully
see the actual catch of the booster. I was a little concerned about the. I was a little bit concerned about the crosswind. I can't help but wonder if the sea breeze being up was one of the criteria that kind of tripped this thing to where we weren't going to see the thing make back to the pad, because I saw the winds were going 15. They were occasionally gusting up to 20. Anything that would have pushed that thing as a gust of wind comes up and blows it out of position, that probably was one of the criteria why they didn't decide to land back at the pad there. But they did a controlled, as you saw, it was controlled. It was vertical. It stood there for a couple of seconds and it kind of fell over into the ocean. So they could control that down pretty good, but not too bad. So anyway, that's it, guys, for the broadcast. I appreciate you guys checking this first live broadcast ever SpaceX launch. I think I'll end up doing it again. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to I was just using my severe weather criteria for this template plays. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to do a redesign for this for just SpaceX launches. So won't be as graphically set up like this. It'll be maybe a little more screen, and we'll go ahead and do it that way for a future broadcast for Starship broadcasts. And again, it'll be weather centric. And what I'll probably do is maybe I'll put a radar on a screen or something like that. I'm going to do a redesign on this so that when we do a live stream for a Starship launch, it'll look a little different. So, all right, that's it, guys. You guys take it easy, and we'll see you on the next live broadcast. Bye, guys.